Hey everyone, welcome to Taxi Talks, where we dive into the life of a taxi driver. Today's episode is all about unexpected passengers. You know, those strange encounters that make this job unforgettable. So, buckle up and let's jump into some of the wildest, weirdest, and most unexpected experiences I've had on the job. A surprising story about picking up a passenger who appeared to be sleepwalking. First up, we have the sleepwalker. I got a call around midnight, and the guy who got in seemed out of it, like totally spaced out. As I'm driving, I ask him where he's headed, but he just bumbles. Halfway through the ride, I realized this guy's sleepwalking. By the time we got to his address, he wakes up, totally confused about where he is and how he got there. A strange encounter with a bride who seems frantic and in a hurry. Next, we have the bride in a panic. I get a call, and a woman in a full wedding gown jumps into the car, yelling, "Just drive." Turns out she was having second thoughts, or maybe just last minute nervous. I ended up driving her to her best friend's house for some advice. I'll never know if she went through with the wedding, but it was definitely a ride to remember. A quirky story about a passenger who claimed to know the future. At number three, it's the psychic passenger. The lady gets in, and within minutes, she's telling me all sorts of predictions about my future. Like she's reading my mind. She said I'd meet mysterious person who would change my life. I didn't know whether to be fascinated or freaked out, but she certainly kept me on my toes. A story about a passenger who wanted to go to an unusual location related to paranormal activity. Then there was the paranormal enthusiast. This guy got in and asked me to drive him to an supposedly haunted house. He spent all right telling me ghost stories and insisted he'd seen a ghost the night before. We pulled up to the airy old place, and he was so serious about going in alone at night. I waited in the car, and when he came out, he swore he had evidence on his phone. People have some interesting hobbies. A funny story about a passenger with big dreams of being a musician who wants to share their talent. Number five is the aspiring rock star. This guy gets in with a guitar and asks if he can audition for me while I drive. He starts belting out songs he wrote himself. And let's just say, not all of them were hits. But he was passionate, and I admire his confidence. By the end, I was actually humming along with him. A story about a passenger who gave you an unusual reading or prediction. Coming in at number six is the fortune teller with a twist. This woman who claimed to be a future teller started reading my energy right there in the car. She said my future held unforeseen riches. I'm still waiting on those. But she had this spooky way of describing my life. And I'll admit I had chills by the end of the ride. A humorous or a strange story about a passenger with an unexpected animal. At number 7, we have the pet taxi. I pick up a guy with a big cage, and I assume it's just a dog or a cat. Nope, it's a parrot. And this bird has the dirtiest mouth I have ever heard. The entire ride, it's squeaking phrases I can't repeat on camera. By the end, I was laughing so hard I could barely drive. A suspenseful story about a passenger with a strange, unexplained package. Number 8 is the mysterious package. A guy gets in carrying a heavy locked box and tells me not to ask questions. Now, of course, that just made me more curious. He didn't open it, wouldn't tell me what was inside, and just left me with this burning curiosity about what I'd been howling around town. The whole thing felt like I was in some kind of spy movie. A story about passenger trying to impress you with magic tricks or unusual talents. Next up, the wannabe magician. This guy gets in and immediately starts doing card tricks from the back seat, saying he's the next big thing in magic. Even tried to pull a rabbit out of his hat, which turned out to be a stuffed animal. But points for effort. It was a free magic show and a memorable ride. A spooky or funny story about a passenger who mysteriously disappeared or left behind something unusual. And finally, at number 10, it's the disappearing passenger. This one passenger got in super quiet, barely said a word. When I pulled up to his destination, I turned around and he was gone. The door hadn't opened, nothing. It was as if he'd vanished. He left behind an old, cryptic postcard with strange symbols. It's still one of the weirdest mysteries I've encountered. So there you have it, my top 10 unexpected passengers. From the strange to the supernatural. You never know who is getting into your cab next. If you enjoyed these stories, give this video a thumb up, hit subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you have ever had an unexpected encounters of your town. Until next time, keep those rides interesting and stay safe on the road.